welcome to the Broski Doodles podcast. Your boy, always with you, Kiko Cervantes. Like I said, if I'm at Taco Bell making tacos, making burgers, or making my own little hot dogs that I myself created to have that Venezuelan touch and bring it to Europe, right after that, I'm going to be right here making the podcast. All right? And on the other side of the world, right? We don't even know how this is possible. He's like in the past, 6 hours in the past. Is your boy, DJ BJ.
Hey, Kiko Flow, what it do, bro?
Bro, you look very lively. You got like this Miami flow to you.
The flamingos give it away?
You got the flamingos, you got the gold chain, you got the glasses. I'm loving it.
I'm an 80s drug lord.
Yeah, dude, you look like you would be on a Versace party back in the 90s. Hello, Madonna, like a virgin. No, I don't know. Yo, quick thing. You sent me a link about a movie called GATTACA. Is it GATTACA or GATTACA or GATTACA?
I mean, once you it's pronounced GATTACA, but it's not really a name more so than it is a genetic sequence.
Okay. And this movie's out, right?
Oh, it's been out since 1997.
Okay, so the movie, I haven't seen it, but for the movie, it shows that when your kid is born, you're able to know right away like what type of preconditions they might be possible to have. But you can also know this even before.
Well, it explores the avenue of like, what if we can figure out when the person is born, what conditions they might have, as well as if you want to create a baby, kind of like build a bear, like build a baby, without these genetic predispositions for like Alzheimer's or for obesity or for mental health issues, alcoholism, like things like that, things of that nature that have been deemed genetic disorders or genetic,
and even actually make them have positive things or
right
babies.
I mean,
like advantages.
I mean, make them have advantages, or not have the predisposition to have that. Like, and all that really doing is reducing the probability of having it. It doesn't mean that they won't develop those things. It just means that they're reducing the probability to 99.999% of it not happening or happening, depending if it's positive or negative.
So pretty much we're able to have this genetic wizards do perfect babies and sort of even prior to them even being conceived, you could genetically make it so that things go a certain way, right? That's what pretty much the movie's about. And it seems like it's not a far-fetched future for society, right? So how do you fall on that topic? Where do you see yourself?
Well, I mean, I definitely am on the side of science, of always improving our daily lives and the lives of others. However, it does become a little extreme as you go further into the movie, where it kind of creates like a class division where between people that were born naturally and people who are not. So like there are certain jobs that the people that are born naturally could not get simply because of their genetic predisposition to have a temper tantrum or be an alcoholic or be predisposed to consuming drugs or whatever, or you know what I'm saying, like that whole thing limits the person from actually limits the people that are born naturally from living a normal life, and then it creates like a favoritism, almost like this goes into like the whole Hitler mindset of the Aryan nation of like perfect white blonde blue eyes babies, like that. So
it's sort of like playing God,
basically.
Okay, and what do you think? Like
we talk about that. We talk about that a lot in this fucking podcast, bro.
About playing God.
about like people trying to play God and people trying to manipulate things to suit them for whatever they want. But at the end of the day, somehow it always fucks up because we're not gods. We're not,
You
as much
think
as we want
those
to
you
believe.
think those are murky waters to get into?
I mean, uh, it's nice to the idea of having the ability to correct a genetic disorder that somebody might have, um, that otherwise wouldn't be able to be fixed. But what are the implications of that technology being available for other things? Like
Yeah, the
can
thing also is that if you're able to avoid, because you could detect it early, a kid that will be born with like a disability, is it wrong to, like, I guess terminate it prematurely so that it, because you're able to know before, like, I guess those are the weird questions that are gonna bring like morality into play, and I'm not really
right.
sure how I feel about it. Part of me says, well, I mean, if we're able to fix something, we should.
Hmm.
But then is there an argument to, well, any living creature should be allowed to live, however, we shouldn't interfere, you know?
Hmm. I think like should any living okay so any living creature that is born as is can should be allowed and should be helped if they're born with a disability that prevents them from living a normal life. Should we use the technology to try to correct it pre birth or even preconception? Like this is like before you guys even mate. Like, all right, get your genetic, get your sperm and your eggs, genetically modify those things, then have them unite and then produce an offspring. Like you, when you bring your child into the world, you always want the best for your child. You always want the best scenario, best situation for them coming up. So I would argue that I would be into looking into some sort of technology towards this,
I
but
mean, it only seems like logical, right? Like, that you
it's definitely
could,
it's logical. It's not emotional. Like you'd have to take emotion out of that because
but
then you
it also feels like one of
or
those things that people will be like, oh, yeah, that's not cool. But if it's them, then yeah, let me do it. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Like this is one of those topics where people is murky, but it's like I think Dave Chappelle had a good joke on it. He's like, it's like, you want to know my stance on abortion? It depends. Generally, I'm not for it, but if it's me, then
That may be gone.
yeah. So I think it's important to recognize where like the hypocrisy would fall, right? Like,
And also
because
you have to consider that this probably takes money. Like obviously a poor person won't be able to have this resource available to them to
I mean,
produce this perfect child.
this gives for such a long debate with so many tangents, because this, if this happens, there's gonna be the discussion where like also rich people have access to making babies better and the poor don't. And then
That
what if the poor say like the government should subsidize, like it would be such like a shit, like it's crazy, right? But it's not far fetched from reality.
did you ever watch Elysium with Matt Damon? What are you doing with your life?
Trying to progress, reading books,
Oh, sorry.
producing content.
You're one of those
Okay,
that you don't have TVs in your house. Is that what it is?
no, I'm one of those that says the book was better.
You're
I
you're
remember
you're
the,
what you're one of those that like, oh, so how do you like sex? Well, the book was better.
the book was better. Dane Cook had a joke about that back in the day where he was like, "Don't you hate those annoying people that like always tell you, "Oh, the book was better," and it's like, really, was it better? Because it took me 2 hours to see the movie, and you've been reading the book for 2 weeks. So like, is it better? Huh? Like, is it better for you to imagine the things while I'm actually seeing them? Like, is it better? Huh? Like, oh, what would it be if a dragon was flying? Oh, my imagination is taking me there. Or do you want to see fucking George Lucas presented to you in the big screen? Huh? Is it better? So, yeah, I'm one of those. No, but I think, that's one of those movies that I probably saw, but I'm being honest, since I don't remember, it's better for me to say I haven't seen it, but I do remember of it. It's like this. He's like bald, right, or has some like shit here. Yeah,
right.
So
the whole concept, was that, there's like the rich people lived in a different area, and the poor people lived like in the slums per se, and and the people that were poor, they were like dying, and they had like illnesses and cancers and shit. And apparently the rich people had a machine that would rid you of any cancer or any disease or anything that you had in your body. And but it was only available to the rich. And he basically like stormed into the rich people's place just to get into the machine. He doesn't want money, he doesn't want anything else. He just wants that machine because he got exposed to some sort of radiation while at work, and now he's dying from this radiation poisoning. The company let him go because now he's a liability, and they cut him off of the healthcare, so he's not getting the medication that he needs now for the radiation pills. So like it was like a whole like basically society doesn't give a fuck about you. You're just another number. You need to produce, make money. You need to produce, and sure, if you live, you're great. If not, we got millions more people just lined up.
There's a movie that sort of relates to that, which is like with Jude Law and the guy from The Matrix, where they're like bounty hunters.
The Repo Man?
The Repo Man. And they collect organs. People that have, like, you could get an organ to fix something, but then you have to pay for it, like with a loan. And if you don't pay it, they take it back.
That was fucked up.
Yeah. But you know what's funny, bro? Like, we're moving so fast, like with what's possible in the world, technology, that movies that were made 20 years ago, they don't even have that sci-fi feeling anymore because they're that much real.
They're starting to become like a documentary.
Yeah. Like you watch Contagion and that's like a fucking documentary.
That's like the Blair Witch.
It's like nobody can get the fucking vaccine. Can you get the hookup? I don't have it. Are you trying to get the vaccine as soon as possible? Or are you doubtful?
I want to wait at least a year since the vaccine has been out to get it, at least. Just because of the fact that the first year is always the trial. Shit could happen at any point in time. You never know. The majority of zombie movies settings is that there's a disease, a virus that people are dying from. They get vaccinated, and the vaccine turns them into zombies.
Fuck.
So like 90% of the population turned into zombies, 10% of the population survived, or something like that.
Bill Gates.
Yeah. So
best case scenario, we wait a year, the other 90% become zombies, we grab shotguns, and it starts.
If you don't already have a shotgun, you're already starting out bad.
You're at negative.
You need to get to zero, bro.
Having a shotgun and 300 rounds is being at zero.
Oh, okay? Man.
And start getting your game up.
You can't just get a shotgun. You need a shotgun and a melee weapon, because you run out of bullets eventually.
An axe. What would you like if we were in this situation where
Uh-huh.
indeed, in the, 90% of the people get the vaccine in the next year, they all become zombies.
Oh
Us,
my god.
because we're conspiracy
Uh-huh.
believers, we don't get the vaccine and we realize, oh fuck, they're turning into zombies. We get the shotgun and we need to get the melee weapon. What would be your signature melee weapon?
Signature would definitely be an axe. Um,
Axe. Okay.
but also like a katana, like a sword, like a something that'll slice through. Because you don't want anything that's rough. You don't want something that's just slices like straight through, straight across to separate the head from the body.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But realistically, if we also follow the guidelines of movies for zombies, um, the zombies that are produced through the virus usually are like rabid and like the fast ones, like the ones that run around and like chase you and shit. So I mean, I'm already seeing some of that shit today. Like in Miami, shit's getting wild, and people are,
You see,
you
you already
know,
seen some zombies in Miami.
yeah, like some rabid people. I don't want to say zombies because they're not. I mean, we
Not
already have
yet.
zombies too. We already have zombies too that we just don't know about it. The phone like really it just drains you. Like you're stuck on that phone 24/7, 365. You're a zombie, bro. That Instagram is a hook.
Yeah, I think if I was in that situation, my melee weapon will be the bat that has like barbed wire around it.
Oh, I like that one.
And I would like a sniper,
A sniper.
but like a little marksman rifle from like World War II, where it's
Uh-huh.
not this big. It's just like I could scope real quick, like a mid-range sniper.
So like a long range rifle, basically.
Yeah, but with a nice little scope.
Mm-hmm.
But still, 1942.
1940s. That's nice.
So going back to the subject, is it right or not to be able to genetically pre-make the genetics of your baby so that it for sure does not have any issues? I mean, is it playing God? Yes. Okay, because one of the topics that comes up is like, for example, people that are born as little people, right? Dwarfism. Is
Uh-huh.
that like the medical term?
Dwarfism. Uh-huh.
Right. Apparently, I read somewhere that they might have found a cure to that. Is that right?
Yeah, I was reading that seem to have found the cure for dwarfism.
Okay, so it's
Um
something like this movie, except they cannot fix everything, but for now they can fix dwarfism, right? Dwarfism,
right. Right.
right? So then I guess the subject comes up. Okay, is dwarfism something that needs to be fixed? Is it just the diversity? Like those are topics that need to be discussed, and I'm not sure if I know the answer, but I'm willing to dig in and get canceled.
Cause so like damn. So is dwarfism enough of a disorder to for something to get fixed? I don't know. Like that's hard to say. You're definitely born with a disadvantage if you are born a dwarf, I guess. Just height wise, just because everything's in the world is designed for people like to be at a certain height. I mean, even me, I'm 6'3". I feel like I also have a slight disadvantage on the day to day because certain things are designed for people that are 5'10". So I'm always feeling the need to like have to like hunch over to do things that are normally a person that's like 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" wouldn't have to do that. You know?
Do you think people like you that are 6'3" and dwarfs, well, I don't know if that, little people, do you think you would have a lot better life if there were more like Lord of the Rings movies, Game of Thrones shows, like where you could be casted as like the mountain giant or the little, magic dwarf, like Lord of the Rings, dildo or whatever, doldo. What's it called? What are they?
Dildo.
The,
Bilbo.
the dildo.
Bilbo
Yeah.
Baggins.
The little
Yeah,
guys that go.
and this is you reading the books, right?
The books are better. The books are better.
I'd say like you'd have to then start going into like designing your entire house based off of your features, as opposed to buying a pre-made house for a person that's a certain size.
So you're saying those are some of the difficulties.
Right. Those are some of the hindrances and difficulties that you'd have to start doing things custom made just for you because of your size difference.
Okay, so do you think, and I mean, feel free to feel uncomfortable. Would you fix it? Do you think it's a bad thing to be born with dwarfism to the point where you would like fix it and make it not happen ever? And don't like entangle with this your sexual like
oh my god. No,
like just keep it like non-sexual.
Non-sexually speaking,
right?
If is dwarfism that something that needs to be changed or fixed or prevented from birth? Damn, like I think it's more about fitting in and like back to the whole wanting the best for your child. You want the best for your child to live in to excel in the society that he lives in. The society that he lives in feels that people that are taller tend to be more successful or more or have better advantages at life than people who are shorter. Is it something that is negative or that shouldn't exist? I have nothing against short people, and if they are happy, more power to them. Would I personally, if I had the choice of having my child be a dwarf or be a giant, I'd choose giant over dwarf.
Okay. I guess to get to the bottom, would you exterminate them? No, I'm just kidding.
That's basically that. No, like think about it. That's basically what we're saying, because if we can manipulate, or we can say that we can eliminate dwarfism from people.
I mean, but you wouldn't do anything to the ones that are already here.
Right, but then the ones that are already here are the last.
They
ones
would be extinct. They would be extinct.
Right. Would we make dwarfisms or dwarf people extinct?
I mean, I think you could. I think you could keep like.
Do you keep them in a museum or in a zoo? This is how we get canceled, bro. No, but you gotta stop doing this shit, bro.
We can have some of them in captivity.
No, oh my god.
No, on the reels. And this is all for fun and games, shits and giggles. No, because there's other shit, dude. I think there's other shit that we already do. Sorry, go. What?
No, sorry. There's other shit that needs to be addressed, like the disorder and disease wise, before dwarfism.
No, well, no. What I'm saying is, that I think there's already. I don't know, bro, because I don't think it's wrong to wanna, if you have the power to, fix things that would make somebody's life harder than it already is. But at the same time, I don't want people to think that I find those things to be wrong. I think that people can have wonderful lives even with certain disadvantages and things. But yeah, man, to be honest with you, I don't know what to think. And this is part of like why we do this podcast, to try to think, right? I mean, given the fact that we don't really think much, this allows us to think and get our ideas out and actually formulate thoughts on what we think about the world. So I don't think it's wrong to not know, but I'm trying to know.
Yeah, remember we have like an 83 IQ combined. So
And this is average. Like we
oh
could be
man.
lower. No, but yeah, like because I don't know if there's already things that you do
Hmm.
that people already do, like as like the common thing, like to detect certain things, and you're like, oh no, yeah, like you shouldn't have this kid because he has it. Like I'm pretty sure there's already things like that, like for major diseases.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's been. I mean, there's three different ways to chart a child before it's even born. Amniocentesis, a karyotype, and there's another one that escapes me right now. But all of those you can extract a sample of the baby and then form like a genetic sequence or code, and it'll tell you more or less what's going on with the baby beforehand. Particularly,
Beforehand.
well, I mean, before they're born, they're already made, so it can't be before they're made. Like it has to be they're already in the womb, and then it tells you,
Like
all right,
meaning if you were to take action, you be terminating a birth.
yes,
I'm saying like
that. Yeah, that would be the only option. That's the only action at that point in time. If you don't,
like saying you need to, for you to even know what's the genetic makeup, you need to already have put it in the oven.
right, and
And then
it has to have been a certain amount of time in the oven,
okay, damn.
like at least 3 months,
Oh
I think.
fuck.
So, and then there's one that you can't even get until 6 months.
Damn. And there's one that's only until they're 3 years old, and then that's when dude.
But then,
But that
but that also goes into the whole. You could also do a genetic makeup of the parents beforehand, before you even start having sex, to see if you guys have a predisposition for any of these diseases as well. So if you really want to go that route, you would have to do a genetic makeup of yourself before you attempt to do your child.
okay, okay. Damn, that's insane. That those type of things are possible nowadays. But let us know what you think in the comments below. I mean, these are crazy things. I wanted to touch on another subject to see what you thought of this. There's this guy, right? Marcus Evans. He's an Illinois Democrat. I'm not sure what role is, like if he's a senator or whatever, something that has to do with the Democratic Party in Illinois. But he wants to ban GTA, Grand Theft Auto, the game, because he says that this is the cause for like a rise in carjacking.
Oh man,
What do you think, BJ?
Marcus Evans is a representative from Illinois, and I did read about this, and I don't know why they've always tried to go after video games, and always claiming that it's too violent, that it incites this, that it incites that, and they don't think about what is actually like what is actually driving this person to commit this crime. Like, ask the person, talk to the person. They're humans. They're human beings. They're individuals. What motivated you to do this crime? Like, why are you doing this? And if the person says, "Oh, I did it because I saw it on GTA and I thought it was fun. I thought it was cool," and you see that trend and you see that many people doing it over and over again, then we could talk about, fixing that in a certain way, maybe putting a disclaimer on the game or something like that. But you have to understand that that's a game. Like, that's not real life. Like, real life doesn't work the way that games work. So you can't just say that, oh, because this person was susceptible or highly influenceable, and this game made them go and do this. No, like,
Would you say it's patronizing to assume that people will be motivated by a video game to do like heinous acts? Like, like it almost feels like you think like we're a joke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't give humans enough credit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think a killer, whatever's triggering that person, is not the fucking video game.
Right.
That guy has problems, and I actually think, furthermore, I'm trying to use shit that I learned in college. Furthermore,
in the books you read.
in the books. Furthermore, I actually think that gaming, even if violent or whatever, can actually release certain emotions, especially in men, that can actually improve their real life. Because sort of like people that do jiu-jitsu or boxing, they take out their anger and shit in their training, and that allows them to be like more calm and shit. I think that gaming like can actually do that too. And I think that people understand that when you're shooting somebody in the face with a shotgun on Call of Duty, it's a game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I'm fucking owning motherfuckers, it ain't no game, but
it ain't a fucking game, but it's a game. Yeah,
It is a
like
game.
it's not real life. Like there's a consequence for you pulling out a shotgun in the middle of Calle Ocho and shooting a motherfucker in the face. You can't do that in real life. You can do it in the game. By all means, go for it. You could even, let's say, you could even design a character to look like the guy that works in your job that you fucking hate his fucking guts, and then just fucking like beat the shit out of him every day. You can do that.
Damn, would you support that?
If that's what you want to do, but then
You heard? He said that today.
that's what you want to do. Like, go for it.
That's crazy, right? Like, is that something that people would look at as being positive or negative?
Look at what about these rooms, these rooms that they have with shit that you break. Like you pay $100 and you go and you into a room and you just break shit, and it helps the person release anger and release stress and do all that. Does that mean that person wants to go into other people's houses or in other people's places and break shit and beat the shit out of them with a bat? No, like they just have anger issues that they don't know how to deal with, that they take it out on these things. Should they also see a psychologist? Because
I was about to say,
should they go see somebody? Possibly. Like if you just see like a person with a bat and just beating the same fucking thing over and over,
if you're dealing with someone that has to go on daily sessions to these breakathon rooms, suggest help and try not to hang with them too much.
Like that's where we go into. He like I feel like when a person targets a video game, saying that it incites violence or it incites a person to do this or incites a person to do that, they're using it as a scapegoat to not have to address the real problem as to what is causing this person to do this. A person doesn't just wake up one day and wants to jack a car. A person doesn't just wake up one day and wants to kill a person. A person doesn't just wake up one day and be like, look, I want to just go and shoot a whole bunch of kids in a elementary school. No. Things in that person's life led that person to do that. Like events, scenarios, maybe he's born into a home with like 7 different kids and the other 6 kids would bully him all the time or some shit, and they were all different age ranges. And he's like, well, fuck it, let me just go shoot up a high school because it reminds me of my whole family that just bullied the shit out of me for my entire life. Like, don't just say that it's certain things that is causing somebody to do that without exploring what is actually causing that person to do that. Usually the person that's jacking a car is because they need money. Why do they need money? Because they need to pay bills. What kind of bills do they have? They have hospital bills. They have this bill. They have that bill. So what's going on with that person? That person has a hospital bill because they have terminal cancer and they have no other way of paying for this. So they need to go rob a car. And if they go to jail, that's better than being at home without money because they're dying. Like obviously that's not the case with every single person. Obviously some people are just assholes and
steal cars. You know who Jordan Peterson is?
Jordan Peterson. Yes.
He said that one of the main factors for IQ is like attention that you get from your parents. And a lot of most of the well, not most of the time, all the time, the kid with the most IQ in a family is the firstborn because it parents pay a lot more attention to the firstborn usually than the other ones come and it's like yeah whatever. So
that could be true.
No, it is true. Like it's proven that attention that your parents give you, that like there's other factors like nutrition.
Sorry, I don't read.
No, I know. My thesis I did it on genetics and predispositions to. I don't want to get you confused with these terms. You want to understand it.
No, I wouldn't definitely.
No, but
unless you made a movie about it, then I'd watch it.
No, but IQ, like for example, one of the main things like nutrition. Kids that are malnourished when they're like that fucks up so much. But attention and from your parents. So
right.
What I was gonna say is this shit that we're talking about with kids. It seems like it's responsible to have kids when you can. We talked about this in the last podcast because you're gonna be able to provide them the shit that they need to succeed and not be fucking monsters in society. Because I find it that these monsters come from fucked up situations, and you know, like there was this person I think on Instagram, but I saw like a little article on it where it's a family that's trying to have as many kids as possible, and what they're doing, bro, is you know the when you can rent a lady to carry your child.
A surrogate.
A surrogate, right? So, for example, she wanted to have a lot of kids, so she had 11 people, like 11 women.
Oh my god!
Simultaneously
having
create
children.
Kids, yeah, from I guess the husband's sperm, and her. I guess because they do use the.
Right, like she has one, but then there's like 11 more ladies with his sperm, but they're her like each of their eggs.
No, I'm not even sure if she's having one, but you do know with the surrogates, they grab the why can't I remember this shit? Yeah, the moms, whatever the oval, the thing, the fucking ovulo, man. Why the fuck? Why the fuck? When I'm recording, I forget all this shit. But whatever, the little egg where the sperm creates, they grab it from the original
lady.
woman. Yeah, and then they put it in the different surrogates, right? And she has like 17 kids now, and she says she wants to get to 100. And I'm like, and she's like, oh, they got money, right? But it's like, to me, that's so stupid. Like that, like you're not gonna be able to give the kids the attention they need, just by time, like time restraint.
Yeah. There's no way.
Besides the fact that how are you gonna really love something you have 100 of?
Right, unless you have them all like in a single class, and then even
no.
Even
but what
then,
I'm saying is,
like,
would you love your kid that much if you had 100 of them, or would you be like, if one of you dies, I kind of don't care too much?
maybe they're betting on that, like like out of 100, one of them has to do something like with their life or some shit like that. And one of them has to.
I find it to be so selfish and so stupid to try to do something like that just for the. It seems like for the heck of it.
Basically, like it seems to me like, you know what, we're bored. Let's just have 100 kids and see what happens.
You know what I think? Like, if anything, if you're gonna do that because you got money to provide, do it with adopted kids.
Okay.
With kids that are already here and don't have anybody to take care of them. You're gonna bring a bunch of kids into the world with your, or maybe they're trying to do like Genghis Khan or like, just have their seed
to spread the legacy.
Yeah.
I never understood that.
Do you want to have kids?
Of course.
No, not of course. Today,
no,
people.
I mean, of course.
In the Broski Doodles, we support people that don't want to have kids, right? DJ?
Oh, también, yeah, it's your choice. But you're asking me if I want to have kids. Of course, I want to have kids.
Do you want to have 17, 100?
Not 17 or 100. Probably like
How many?
16. No, three
Okay.
at most. Three at most.
Three a month.
But
Okay.
ideally two.
A girl and a boy. As a
And
Latin way.
preferably the male first.
La niña y el niño.
El niño y el niño, exactly.
Well, it's kind of like with you.
Basically,
Okay.
like a photocopy of my life, I guess, if you want
All
to say
right.
that.
All right, all right. So, in general, you would say that video games are not what's causing people to do violent acts or crimes.
In general, for the most part, no.
So, you're saying there could be people that are being influenced by this.
I can only speak from personal experience. I have found myself to be really involved in a game and then have somebody interrupt me or like stop me from playing the game and like acted violently, but in retrospect it was more so like if like a baby playing with his little rattle and you take the rattle away and he throws like a tantrum, kind of, almost.
Okay, but that's like different. Like, you're talking about
Yeah,
like maybe
that's but
like it's not
but
like you going and doing crimes based on the games you're playing. It's
right,
just you
no,
want to
no,
play
no,
this
no,
so bad, and they're like, no, you gotta
no, exactly. So
take
it's more
out
like
the
an
trash,
anxiety, exactly. Take out the trash, do this, do
and
that.
you're like, I'm
Like,
fucking raiding this
what
shit.
the fuck?
I'm
Like,
saving
could
the
you pick a
world
better
from
time?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, lady, I'm saving the world right now. You wouldn't understand it. I'm making sure the horde doesn't come into our house and fucking murder us. I'm trying to not have a gladiator happen in our home.
I need to save Cortana. She's on the brink of fucking dying right now.
And if Cortana dies,
I
then
die.
that's it.
That's
No,
the
no,
end.
the flood.
The flood rules all. But yeah, like so yeah, that's different than the, oh shit, you know what? That's pretty cool that this guy got shot in the head. Let me go do it outside of the street. No, not never like that. It's more been like a reactionary to it stopping. But you know, like you see it afterwards and you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have really reacted that way or shouldn't have done that way. But you're so caught up in the game that you forget.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there has been people like with World of Warcraft that went a bit crazy. You know, like if their moms didn't allow them to play, like I think there were even some suicides. Like,
No, I mean,
but I think that's always the extremes in things, right? There's always gonna be
right.
one crazy guy that's gonna be like, "Oh, fuck this shit." Like, there was a guy that committed suicide. I hate when people say, "Oh, he suicided."
He's suicided.
That's not even real, right?
No, right.
He committed suicide.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you see motherfuckers that have an accent, but the grammatic is on point. I know you're fucking judging me, you piece of shit. No, but
Remember, you
this
read
guy, the stocks. No, the book is better. The stocks. Some guy lost a bunch of shit on the game stocks,
uh-huh.
and then he off himself.
Right, in the Robin Hood trading on
Yeah,
options.
so
he
it's
lost.
always gonna be the extremes, but in general, people be, I don't think that video games or even movies make people. Now, how about like social media? That does influence people, right? A lot more, if anything.
I mean, have you ever? I mean, the movies, I kind of feel kind of some sort of way because every time I watch Fast and Furious in a theater and then I leave to my car to go drive home, you're driving fast as fuck, just because you just saw Vin Diesel and Ludacris and all these people were driving fast in the movie, even though you know it's wrong, but you try,
Do you think that those like Fast and the Furious movies are kind of like that scene that you told me in the last podcast about that movie, Idiocracy, where they're going to a theater and it's just like an ass farting for an hour and a half?
Yeah, so
Would that be Fast and the Furious?
like a sensory, like it's more, it appeals more to your senses and to your basic instinct versus like
Okay.
thought.
Do you think those type of movies go along with our low IQ, and that's why they're so entertaining?
They I want to say that even a monkey could watch Fast and Furious and find it entertaining.
Actually, is whom finds it most entertaining?
Oh
The
man.
target market.
They're gonna start playing Fast and Furious at the zoos and shit. Oh fuck.
Fast and the Furious 10 premiering on the New York Metro Zoo.
And they
Fuck.
have like they have a what is it? What's that thing called? Um like a test group, like a test subject for the new title and for the new movie. What do you guys think?
When they see the explosions, they're like, "What?" And then the director is like, "Add more explosions."
More explosions. You can never go wrong with those.
Have
Those
the
scenes
rock
are
fly from one building to the other.
have you seen the most recent trailer for the I think Fast and Furious 9, is it now? The one that's coming out in the summer?
I don't even know, bro. This
Bro.
looks like a thunder, Tropic Thunder, like meme shit. You know how in Tropic Thunder there was like one movie that they just kept coming out with like 10 to 20, 11.
Uh-huh.
It's I mean, I don't blame them. That's their little cash cow, and those
Yeah.
actors. Like
Yeah.
Ludacris, which is one of like my favorite rappers. He straight up like quit rap to just become a Fast and the Furious cast.
And he's a tech guy.
Oh, he's a tech guy, really?
In the movie he's like the tech guy. Because there's always like a guy, like a tech guy, the sporty guy, the guy that has the muscles, and then the guy that is like an ex cop, whatever bullshit. So
All right, okay, so you think, for example, social media. Well, you were saying something. I interrupted you.
no, yeah, no, we talked about that. Social media, the social media influence your behavior. I mean, we talked about it in the beginning of this episode, but we already basically have zombies. People are constantly glued onto their phone, like Instagram traps and Snapchat traps and now TikTok, and then probably a couple years down the line, another social media platform's gonna come out, and there's always constantly these social media platforms that are coming out
Do you think
to
it's
attract.
dangerous that people feel that what people post in Instagram and shit is like their real life, and some people love to just like, I find it like when we go out places, right? Like people want to take pictures. My girlfriend wants to take pictures, and I'm just like, oh, let's just live the moment. And sometimes I'm just a hater, like a Grinch, and I should be more like, yeah, let's take a picture. But those people that just love to take a picture of something and they don't even enjoy the moment, and it's just so that others can think their life are amazing. Do you think I find that to be a problem? Do you think that's something that's like fucking up people's mind? Like, it's sort of like when they see the hot chicks on Instagram and they think that's how everyone looks.
Uh-huh.
They see
That
people's life and they
definitely
think everyone's happy.
that definitely skews your concept of reality. Living in that fake life of like Instagram model stardomship, whatever, because it's not real. Like it's just not real. Like sometimes I find myself like like what the fuck am I doing? And I have to like I feel the need to delete it, Instagram, for a while, because it's like it's like it keeps sucking you in because it's so appealing. Like all those hot girls and all the food that they cook, and then the cars that they have, and then the places that they go, the people that they see, things they're doing, and you're like, fuck, like
Would you say sort of like Fast and the Furious on your phone all the time?
I think it's more than
hot
that. Like
chicks, cars,
to me,
ludicrous.
Instagram is kind of like McDonald's, like in the sense of like it's cheap. It's because it's free. It's appealing to the senses. You can constantly consume social media and not gain any weight or any like actual you could have no benefit from it. However, there's sometimes that you see some sort of post on Instagram and that actually is like helpful. You're like, hey, you know what? I didn't know that actually helps. But more often than not, it's a consumption tool. Like you're consuming media. You're basically consuming media at that
And
point in time.
is it because, for example, this podcast is shown to people through social media,
Uh-huh.
YouTube, and the different platforms for now. It would be hypocritical to sort of say like, oh, it's bad for people to like be stuck on social media, but we want people to watch this podcast, right? Do you
Right.
think that it gets justified because there's an attempt to provide quality to people that listen to this, rather than just make them feel like shit, or like because like it seems like the world we live in now is everyone's consuming more content, and I don't see that as bad altogether. I consume a lot of podcasts myself, and I think I get a lot of value out of it.
But it's different. A podcast that talks about world issues or certain situations and explores the ideas and has like actual thought versus just a girl showing her ass or
Where would this podcast fit?
I mean, I haven't shown my ass. Have you?
No, I'm saying like
Are you going to eventually?
I mean, I hope so, but I'm saying
I think the viewers want to know.
if we're able to get enough subscribers, I will show my ass. And
All right,
that's
so you heard it here first. If we get 1,000 subscribers, it's gonna show his ass.
1,000 subscribers, I show my ass. And if I'm serious about losing weight and shit, it should be good stuff.
It's not if, but when.
Well, when we get 1,000 subscribers.
No. The losing weight, and then
Oh,
no, it's not. You're saying
it's-
if I lose weight,
it's starting
it's
now.
when I lose weight. Yeah.
Oh, when? Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you. You see the secret. That's the power. He, DJ BJ, on his spare time, he also does conventions where he goes and does self help, and one of the things is not if, when, so that you can write it in your brain. It's a type of things that they teach you, and you're like, oh, this guy's really smart, but like, oh, they're like, write it down. Okay, write it down, put it in your, but it doesn't work. No, I'm just kidding. No, but thanks. That does make sense.
That's the title of my next book. Not if, when.
When? Oh, fuck. His next book, meaning there's previous books, and like I always say, the book is better. So dude, look. So,
But I'm gonna wait for the movie on this one.
so 1,000 subscribers, I show my ass, and I should be looking cuter than this, which is hard to believe, but we'll get there.
I mean, sometimes people just want to. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I don't follow. I mean, I have a shitload of accounts that I follow just for hot girls, but I know that it's not real.
It's not real.
I know that it's not real. Like it's not not that they're not real. That it's real that this is the daily life. It's not. This is not real. This is not reality.
Right.
And
It's
some
like,
people
it's not that it's real. It's like, am I real? No, I feel you where it's like that's not their life, and they show themselves like on a jet flying to Dubai or whatever, and it's like that ain't your real life. And now they have the reels.
They could have actually gone to Dubai. They could have actually gone on a private jet that somebody flew them out on, but it's not something that's real. It's not.
Have you ever noticed people that they go to a trip, right, to Rome, Italy? They take a bunch of pictures, and then they scarcely post them throughout the next 2 years.
Really?
Cringy as fuck.
I have noticed that with weddings. Where they'll post like a picture one week, and then the next week they'll post another picture of the same wedding that they had, and then like another week later, another picture of the same wedding that they already had 2 weeks ago.
Right, but
And
I think that's more like, oh, let's keep remembering my wedding. But imagine someone that
but
like
for how long?
went to New York and then took a bunch of pictures, and then they keep posting it throughout the year as if they're always going to New York. Or people that go like in a private jet and they take a bunch of pictures that day and they post them on different days. They even change clothes to make it look.
So they do that with the intention of like saying that they're constantly in New York, even though they're not,
Or constantly on
or
the
constantly
travel.
in Rome, or constantly, yeah, constantly traveling. But they
It's like every time you go somewhere new, get a nice catalog of pictures that you could post at any time. I don't know what like, that's crazy, right? Like people like living
look
lies.
look at how many um look at how much people value you taking pictures of yourself on these trips, that whenever you go to these famous monuments, there's lines of people trying to take pictures of the same fucking pose. Like, trying to hold the Tower of Pisa, or underneath the Eiffel Tower, or like those titular famous like monuments. People don't really care about what the monument represents. How did that monument come to be? Or like, the history of that monument, the history of the town around that monument. They just want to take the picture because other people have taken it, and they want to be like other people that, like, famous people have taken pictures of themselves with the monument, so they need to take a picture of themselves next to the monument to claim a status or whatever.
Man, like I have zero of that. I don't give a fuck about that shit,
dude.
And whenever I'm out with like, I mean, I'm like my girlfriend, she just cares a bit more, and she's not really like that, like empty in that sense. But she does like to get some memories, and sometimes I feel like an idiot when I'm, and I shouldn't. Like, you should want to get memories, but in general, some people just do it for the picture, and it's like, motherfucker, live the moment.
Exactly, nigga.
Yeah, live what you're doing.
Just live it. Just live it.
Dude, sometimes when I'm chilling with my friends, like when I've been with you, or like when we're just having a good time, nobody has time to take out the phone to take a picture because you haven't stopped laughing and having the best time of your life.
That shows, like, the fact that you're taking pictures and like that many pictures and posting that shows me that you're not even having a good time there. You're not enjoying yourself. You're doing it for clout. You're doing it for fame. You're doing it so people can see that you did it.
You know what? Some funny stories regarding this. I mean, it's sad, but it does put in perspective. Like, it's becoming very, very popular to go and go up the Everest, go to up Mount Everest, and there's like a certain section of the year where you can do it because of the conditions and shit. And having a picture in the Everest is pretty cool. So people that don't have any business climbing any mountains, nevertheless, fucking Mount Everest. I don't think I used that preposition correctly, but it sort of matched. Like, nevertheless.
Yeah, that was right. That was right.
That was good. Oh, thank you. My teacher. All right, so like, just fucking, like, imagine you and me trying to go up the Everest. Like, not yet. We're gonna get on our beach body looking hot.
You already know. Let's do it.
Let's do it. But you and me right now we wouldn't be able to go to the Everest.
Never.
Right? But there's fucking idiots. There's fucking idiots that are like, oh, I want to go to the Everest and I want to take my picture on the Everest. And then there's companies that shouldn't be doing this. They're like, they take you up. They get these people that take all of the equipment up, all the gas tanks, everything. And then they take you, and in some cases, they even have to drag you, because once you get to the top, it's very like difficult because of and you have to go up and down quickly, because if you stay too long in that air pressure, you will die, right? Well, in one of these years recently, there were so many people trying to go up this thing, most of them that had no business doing this shit, that it was such a line that people had to wait more than 3 hours to try to get to the top. And a bunch of people froze to death and died. And this, to me, I mean, I'm not saying it's like interesting because people died or anything. It's just because it's such a perfect example of how vanity and how trying to show this bullshit persona to the world that's not real can literally kill you.
Right. Literally. How many people have died taking a selfie from like a cliff or some shit?
Yeah. There's a really dark video that they were passing around at one point of some Venezuelan chick in a very tall building. She like sat on the ledge of the balcony. And it's just like, man,
Wow.
come on, dude. Common sense.
Wow.
But that's, people. So in a way, even though I sometimes I dress like a bum, I feel blessed that I have no desire for this vain bullshit,
I totally agree. And I appreciate you for that.
That's maybe why we're homies, right? We got that simple mentality,
Definitely, bro. Definitely. I mean, what's the point of living life if you're not gonna enjoy it? Like, really, like your whole point in life is to show other people that you made it. Then what are you doing? You're living for somebody else. You're not living for yourself. You might not even like what you're doing. You're just doing it because people are gonna be like, oh hey, oh damn, that's awesome. Hey, but that's temporary. That's not it's not real.
Today,
it's not reality.
People love to hang out and be part of toxic people's life. Like, if you have people that you need to impress, you're not with the right people. You know what I mean? Like, the people that you're with should be happy and celebrate you when you accomplish things, but not because of what you're showing off it. It's because you as a person feel happier and you're growing.
Exactly.
And I think that a lot of people end up in toxic relationships with friends and people that they're just in a competition to see. And it's like, stop writing that to that motherfucker. Don't text them anymore. And that's it. Don't see. Like, people, one thing that gets better when you're older, you say no.
but he has my sweaters in his truck. I can't just leave him like that.
he has all my CDs. Your car doesn't even have a CD player. I know, but they're my CDs.
Come on, Sheila. What the fuck?
my Blink 182 CD was there. Oh my god. No, but isn't it funny how people just have like? But nowadays, if somebody wants to chill,
it's actually not funny. It's actually more sad than funny. That they stick into a relationship to show people, but there's nothing there.
But I don't just mean love like
like friendships
like
and
friends, dude. Do you find it easier like when you're older, like you feel no obligation to like please nobody, so you're like, oh well, I was like, oh no man, no. It's like whoever I don't want to chill with, I won't chill with, and that's it.
It's definitely a lot easier to say no nowadays.
Because it's like, I think that's one of the things about getting older is that you give less a fuck. And when you start even getting older, you're like, I'm closer to death than anything. So now I really don't give a fuck. That's like when you're at a point where you don't just say no. You're like, no, I never really liked you.
But then that goes into the whole conversation that we're having. Social media dictates that you should like care about what other people think and present this life to them and show them that you're profitable or that you make money or that you're successful or that you have this and you have that. But really, like what makes you what makes you happy? Like, do that. Don't do this because you want to make money, because you'll never be happy. Do it because you want to be happy.
And with the social media, I'm not saying don't post things. I mean, I think it's great. I celebrate people's happiness and shit.
Oh, absolutely.
But do it in a positive way that helps you, and do it because it makes you feel good, not because you need to prove anything to anybody. Because fuck the other side. Like, fuck what they think. Fuck, like, straight up, like, it's you. Life is too short to worry about. Like, you think when I do this podcast, I can think if people think I'm being a clown out here. If I was to think that shit, I wouldn't even fucking record anymore. You know what I mean? Like, so who the fuck cares? What if I'm being an idiot here? Who the fuck cares, man?
Realistically, I don't care if nobody watches this. I just like talking to you. That's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, but thankfully we
but I
do
but I
have.
appreciate whoever views this. Thank you.
No. We do have quite some people that watch this, and I want to thank you all for tuning in every week and well every day. Pretty much,
Yeah.
I come out with clips, so you have a lot of content all the time, and I really hope you enjoy it. But I'm really grateful for every one of you listeners and viewers that we have here. I do want to have some of your comments. Make sure that if you haven't subscribed, hit the like button. You know all that like fucking like weird YouTube talk, right? It's like hit the notification bell, like subscribe, like yeah. It's fucking it's stupid.
Subscribe, comment.
Leave a likes button. Leave a comment below. No, but with the comments, I will literally address them. If you put a comment there about something here, I will literally reply. I always reply, and I might even address it here because I really care. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. We're gonna be coming through with a lot more. BJ, thanks a lot for coming through.
Always a pleasure. Just waiting to get canceled.
We're trying to see if you can get canceled before you get known, and we'll find out.
We'll find out soon enough.
Take care, guys. Peace.
Peace.